Yeah, what's good, everybody? Mr. Holland, part 313. I want to go over a pretty shitty weekend for me, personally, sports wise, and I'm talking about the Lions and the Wolverines. I'm gonna start off by talking about the Wolverines. Now, you know, I've been a Wolverine fan my whole life, just like I've been a Lions fan my whole life. But at the same time, I had realistic expectations going into this season. Once I saw that Spate was gonna come back for for his junior year, and I found out he was gonna be starting, I kind of figured we was gonna be in trouble then, because just based on what I've seen, if we were gonna make a big run, towards the college playoffs or even the national championship, he clearly was not gonna be the guy to take us there. And that's what I think the Wolverines' biggest problem is. I watched the spring game early this year, and in the spring game, Spate threw three pick sixes. Three pick sixes against his own team, who's not even allowed to hit him in Michigan Stadium. How the hell do you do that? I have no idea. But I kind of knew he was in trouble once I saw that he was starting. And it kind of goes back to last year. This is the thing with Spade. And like I said, since he was the starter, I was pulling for him to do well. So it wasn't like rooting against him because that wouldn't make any sense. Because at the end of the day, I'm still a Wolverine fan. But at the same time, I have to be a realist. If you go back into last year, Spate does not show up in big games. Period. Costly interceptions in the Ohio State game, which we pretty much had control of up until the end. You can look at the Iowa game that we had no business losing with the defense that we had. And I'm not just blaming him. I understand there's other aspects to it, especially with the offensive line. But at the same time, he does not perform well whatsoever in big games. Now, fast forward to this year, it's not just big games. I wasn't impressed with his game against Cincinnati. I wasn't impressed with his game against Air Force. These are games that should have been over by halftime. But terrible quarterback play kept bum-ass teams in the fucking game. That's just the way it is. So now he ended up getting hurt, and now we have O'Corn. We are still in trouble. Now think about it. You got beat out by Wilton Spate. That's to be sign number one. And it showed again against Michigan State at home. Losing the game, you have no credit. Michigan State won fair and square. No excuses for it. Give credit where credit is due. But at the same time, O'Corn is not much of an upgrade over Spate. So basically, until we get the quarterback situation solidified where it's supposed to be, then we're not going to do much going forward. Period. Keep in mind, we still got to go to Penn State, to Wisconsin, and then obviously you got the Ohio State game at the end of the year. And never mind those tough tasks, we still got other teams we have to play. Right now, it's to the point where nothing is a lock for us no more. Like, you see us going against Maryland or, Rutgers or some shit like that, you're like, okay, those are easy wins. But not the way that our quarterback positions are playing right now. Nothing is a gimme game. The play has been so bad, it's starting to keep inferior teams in the game. And you cannot let bum-ass teams hang around throughout the course of a game. Because if it's late and the score is close, anything can go wrong. An interception, a costly interception, a fumble, they may take that bitch back to the house. That's exactly what happened in the Appalachian State game. We let those bums hang around, and as a result, a block punt ended up costing us that game. You have to put lesser teams away early. You have to impose your will early. Bottom fucking line. Now, do you think Air Force or Cincinnati would have been close at any point in the game against Alabama or against Clemson? Hell no. Teams like that take care of business. Take care of business early. You let inferior teams know that you have no shot whatsoever, and this game will be over in the fucking first quarter. Period. We're gonna be beating your ass so bad we're gonna have our third stringers in by the second half. That's how it should be. You have to dominate teams that you're supposed to dominate against. And we're not doing that at all. So until we get that situation fixed, hey, it is what it is. You can't hang it on the defense because the defense has been playing all season, going back to last season. But at the same time, eventually they will break if you constantly have them out there on the field because you can't stay out in the field because you can't sustain drives. If you're constantly going 3 and out, I don't give a fuck how good your defense is. They're going to tire out and they're going to give up big plays. Period. You have to give your defense rest, and we cannot do that because we can't stay on the field. I mean, terrible red zone offense. It's just bad all the way around. I don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation, and I don't know what's going on with the offensive line. But those are something that we have to get fixed if we're going to go do anything in the future. I'm not really expecting much from this season because it is what it is. I'm just being the realist. It's not me not being a fan. I'm just going by based on what I see. And you can't tell me, even the most diehard Michigan fan can't tell me, with the quarterbacks that we have, you can actually see us moving far into the playoffs. Or even making the playoffs. Or going anywhere near national championship with Spate or Corn. I'm sorry. Neither one of them are going to get it done. And that has to change. And obviously, our offensive line play has to get better. Now, let's go to the Lions. I don't know if the offensive line was fucking drunk. I don't know if they were pissed at Stafford, but something's got to give, man. I'm not saying that the return of Taylor Decker is going to be a complete fix to the situation, but I know it's going to help. At least I hope it's going to help. As of now, it is bad, like for real. I understand Carolina has a good defense, but the way we played yesterday was absolutely unacceptable. Bottom fucking line. And if you want to be taken seriously, you cannot go out and play games like that. You know, and of course, and I just know it. You know, it happens every fucking time, man. After a disappointing loss, everybody want to come down on Stafford. And I'm looking at some of these fucking dumbass comments on Facebook, and I'm like, are you motherfuckers watching the game? Like, seriously? The man was basically running for his life the whole fucking game. Some of those sacks probably was on him, but for the most part, Stafford was not the cause of us losing that game. If anything, if it wasn't for him, the score would have probably been a lot worse. Ebron is not catching passes. Keep that in mind. This is a number 1 pick, a Mayhew pick, by the way, who has not lived up his draft selection at all since he's been in Detroit. Not blaming him on the offense, but he's not necessarily doing his part to justify the 5th-year option that the team picked up. Secondly, like I said, you know, and I don't even know where to begin with this. Going back to the Adrian Peterson thing, I've seen that on Facebook again. Like, some Lions fans now let that dumb shit go. Oh, we should trade Ebron for Adrian Peterson. That is fucking stupid. We're not going to trade one useless player for another useless player. I keep telling people, stop falling for flashy ass names. Adrian Peterson is not Adrian Peterson no more. Period. If he was still the dynamic and the fucking explosive ass back that he once was, do you really think Minnesota let him walk and then drafted another running back in Dalvin Cook? They know he'd have nothing left in the tank. Period. They let him go. Free agency. Get out of here. We don't give a fuck where you go. They didn't even get damn he got signed by a divisional rival. So, come on now. Stop it with that. The running backs is not the problem. The running backs that we have is just fine. We have to start opening up some lanes. We have to start pass protecting. If we can't do that, I don't give a fuck who you got in the backfield. Period. You can have Dalvin Cook. You could have the boy from Kansas City, Hunt. It doesn't matter. Your O-line has to perform, and so far we have not done that yet. That's just the way it is. It's no time to panic, but I will say this. This next game against New Orleans is very, very important. And I think going to the bye week at 4-2 is not too shabby. But we have to go out there and take care of business. There's no reason why we can't go out there and perform. Now keep in mind that same New Orleans team that we're going to play went to Carolina and dominated them boys in Carolina. So this is not going to give me gimme game. This is not going to be a give me game. This is not going to be a team that we can look past at this point. But the way offensive line is playing, every fucking game got to be like a playoff game. We can't overlook nobody. I don't give a fuck what their record is. We can play an 0-5 team. We have to take them seriously. We don't have that luxury of overlooking people because we have not played up to our potential yet. Bottom line. So we are not in position to do that. So that's that. But anyway, I just kind of want to get that off my chest, man. And, no time to panic, man, about the Lions, man. I think at the end of the day, we'll be okay. And I said it before, Quinn got us going in the right direction, man. Just trust the process. And that's the only thing we can do at this point. So, as always, Mr. Holland Part 313, and shout out to my DVE crew, Detroit versus everybody. And I get at y'all later.